Alright, what's up everybody? We are back with the Studebaker project, and I just want to let you guys see what we've been working on. So, the first thing I did a few days ago, I finally moved my steering box up to the front. I got a bracket made. I got it clamped in there right now, and the only reason I didn't weld it yet is because today we had a very busy day. Me and my two younger sons came over, and we did a bunch of stuff. We got the steering column mounted in the car. Right now you can see that plate that the swivel thing that the column goes into. It just kind of, it's got a screw and some vice grips holding it right now, because I got to come up with a better filler panel for that hole. So, but we did get I did get the steering box good to go as far as where I need it and location wise. And if you look at the pitman arm, it should be, it'll run parallel over to the side where I have to steer from, and it will steer the right way this time. So anyway, we got that put in. I'll take you around over here. You can get a look at this actual steering column in there. So there it is. We got our bracketry in there. We got our bracket in the bottom, the swivel. We got our hanger on the dash there. It is a tilt column. I wasn't sure if it was, but it actually is. It may actually be a little long. I'm not sure if I can sink it in there a little bit further as far as lengthwise, maybe get it down a little bit into the engine compartment. I'm not sure yet. But also, while we were doing that, as you guys know, when we first decided to put the steering box in, I was going to put it like right in here, and I cut that lip away that's on the frame where it was all spot welded right there. So when I decided to move it forward, because it wasn't going to work in that rearward spot, I decided to go ahead, and my son was over here and he welded up that seam where I cut it right there. There was like a little bit of a gap, and he welded all the stuff in there. So, but unfortunately we ran out of gas. We ran out of argon. So I have to get that replaced this week, hopefully. And I did have to order a longer steering shaft that's going to go to our little joint right here, and that's splined on this side for the this is a Vega steering box. So I think I have, I don't know if I could show you the distance from the pitman arm. You can see it right here. Whoops, sorry about that. My tripod was loose. I should probably flip you guys back around. There we go. But yeah, the distance from the pitman arm, it should clear everything no problem. So I did a lot of different measuring and stuff before I actually clamped it and made the bracket. You guys saw me make the bracket before. So that's all in place. Also, another thing we did was when my one son was working on the steering column, I went ahead and I got the valve covers all installed with the adapters. I got everything sealed up. I got the, what else did I do? Oh, I got the flex plate bolts torqued down to the proper spec. It's I think 65 foot-pounds. And also, another thing that I'm waiting for at the moment, I did just order some parts, was Excel makes a points eliminator kit, which basically takes, if I can get this off here, this should just come right out. I know there's two screws in it. Actually what it does is it's a little module that goes in place of where the points are, and it eliminates the points and condenser. So it's just basically it basically turns into like a photo eye, and it comes with a little two-piece thing with a bunch of slits in it. And I've used them before. They work really, really good. So I figured before I go ahead and drop this in the car, it's going to be a lot easier for me to do it now, because it's right here. Because you have to drill stuff out and everything else. And there's a couple more wires that it runs off of. So I'll be doing that here in a few days as soon as I get it. So we'll do that. I did get my freeze plug installed right there where that vent's supposed to go. I'm going to have two vents on the motor, so I don't need another vent in the back. And I couldn't find the piece, like I said, that tubing piece. I put new bolts in the motor mounts. I only had two on each side because the bolts that I got were too long. So I actually got grade 8 3/8 bolts in there now, and they have lock washers on them. So also while we were doing that, my other son was here helping me. And we got our transmission all cleaned up. And we painted it red. He mostly painted it, but I painted a little bit of it. I was going to do orange, but I forgot to go to the auto parts store and get any paint. So I had 2 cans of this paint. This is a Rust-Oleum. I forget what the color is. It's some kind of red. So we went ahead and painted it red. I figured that looked kind of neat. It came out pretty good, actually. Red usually comes out pretty shiny. I taped everything off so it wouldn't look weird underneath. Now, I didn't paint nothing underneath of it because I didn't have it off the jack or anything. So we'll have to do the rest of the underneath of it once it's put in the car, but that won't be too bad. So that's most of what we did today. Also, while we were just messing around, we decided to try to mount this rear bumper, and we did get it on there. But I realized pretty quick that the spring steel bumper brackets on this side over here are kind of out of whack. So we got it on there, but we only got a couple bolts in it. So we're going to have to do some finagling around to get the other bolts in it. And I have to get the right bolts. Right now we just got some regular 3/8, just regular bolts holding it in place. So I think it's looking pretty cool. I'm going to clean up this rear piece right here. I would imagine there was probably some kind of filler panel that went in there back when it was new, but I don't know. I don't have it, so. And I still have to fix that trunk lid, but I'm not worried about that just yet. I want to get the trunk stuff done after the drivetrain's in. I want to get start on the trunk because I got to get that pretty solid so I can put a fuel cell and stuff in there. But yeah, just a quick little update. We got a bunch of stuff done on this thing. Like I said, once I get the points eliminator kit, I'll be doing a video on that too. They're really neat. They don't burn up like points do. And one of the reasons I found out about those years ago was I think it was a 69 Grand Prix that I had. It had a 428 in it. And the way that the motor sat in the car, the distributor was basically the same distributor as this, from what I remember. It sat so far in the firewall that you couldn't even get it out. I mean, you could barely get it out, but you couldn't change the points without taking the distributor actually taking it out. So I remember one day I was messing with it and I left the ignition on. And I burned up the points. So I was going to put points in it and I found that kit, which eliminates the points and condenser. And I'm like, well, I'll just do this. That way, you know, and I think the kit's only like $30, even to this day. Now, if you go on eBay, you'll find them anywhere from $90 to $100, all the way down to about $28, $30, something like that. So I went ahead and put it in back when I had that Grand Prix, and it worked great. In fact, it seemed like it had a little more power because it was probably getting a little more spark and it was probably a little more just better for the ignition system. So I always remembered that, hey, that thing's worked great. So when I got this motor, I was thinking, well, maybe I'll go ahead and get one. So I just ordered one of those yesterday. It was yesterday, which was Saturday. So hopefully I'll have it early to mid this week, hopefully. And I can put that in, and they don't take that long to put in. I'll do a little video on that, so anybody's wondering how they work or how they install, it's not that bad. I don't think I'll have to pull the distributor out of there to put it in, but I may be wrong. It's been a while since I did it, and like I said, the other car that I put it in, I had to take it out to do it, because there's no way you're doing it in the car. It was just, the firewall and the distributor were that close. So, that's about it. We're going to be, damn tripod, sorry about that. We're going to be dropping the motor in here in a few days as soon as I can get, I'm waiting for, like I said, the rest of the steering parts, the other shaft, the longer shaft. I got one coming that's longer. And then I got to figure out a bracket for that. And then, yeah, and I want to make sure before I weld the steering box bracket that I don't have to change anything. Right now it looks like it's going to be good though. So we'll have to see, but right now everything looks good so far. The header should clear no problem, it looks like. Yeah, should be good for pretty much everything up here in the front. So we'll be doing that. I do want to clean up in here. I didn't clean that up before with the wire wheel. I want to kind of paint that before I put the motor and trans in, just because it's open right now. That won't be a big deal. It'll take me probably 20 minutes to get in there and clean it all up, but it's pretty, I don't know, it doesn't look nice. It needs to be, I don't want anything spotless, but I want it to look not so crappy, rusty looking. So I'm going to throw some flat black on that under there, clean it up with the wire wheel. So I think that's about it. I will have a mail call or two here coming up here in the next few days. And probably tomorrow. I think something's coming tomorrow. But we'll see. So, but yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't yet. And subscribe if you haven't done that yet, too. I guess we got a few new subscribers here in the last few days. I appreciate that for you guys new watching this. Tell your friends or whatever, too, because, you know, who knows. And, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next video. Have a good one. And we'll talk to you. Thanks.